Dessert week. Dessert week. Week 8 is dessert week. What does that even mean? What were the other weeks? Fucking dinner week? Answer the question! Sorry, I don't mean to be giving out you personally. I just don't know what's going on. Week 8 is dessert week. Who's writing this show? Fucking Linda? Yeah, why don't we call it week 8? After they do pastry week, why don't we call it dessert week? Fucking blow their fuck. Doesn't make any sense. They're all dessert, even bread. Look, I'm just a bit upset because this week was a whole lotty less fun, shall we just say, without spoiling too much. I haven't been right since Lottie gone. I haven't been home. I'd have been a fucking tear. And the police had to be called because I was on the top of the GPO trying to piss off the top. Oh, Lottie, come back! Trying to cut off Jim Larkin's hands on O'Connell Street. Listen, I miss her. But also, the best thing that's ever happened to me has happened to me. At the end of this show last week, I said, Lottie, I'll miss you. Maybe we can chat online. Well, last week, Jordan made a very loving tribute to Lottie. And I tagged her on Instagram, on the thing. And she said this. No, I don't mean to get very QAnon here, but let's look at the words here. Moving stuff. Thank you. Lottie's moving into my house. I don't know what am I going to tell my son? This is your new mom. This is your new mammy. I don't know what to tell my son. And then a fan of the pod sent a link to Lottie about this podcast, and Lottie said this. Love that guy. I love him. This is moving way too fast. I'm still a frigid. I'm very scared. But anyway, leaving Lottie out of this for a second. We'll get onto that in a second. Well, we won't. That's all I have to say about it. And yeah. But listen, Lottie aside, there are still 5 very talented bakers in this, which you know what that means? No fucking drama. It was boring. I like them. I respect them. I fancy them. But it was boring. Hang on, is this recording? Let me just check. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm not editing this. I can't. Eric Cantana. I can't. That seemed racist. I don't know why. Listen, Lottie's moving into my house and I'm in love with her. No, listen, come here to me. I'm a frigid. But listen. This leaves 5 very talented bakers in this house and no drama. But luckily there were the lols from Matt and Noel. Bloody Matt, in something straight out of Shooting Stars, dresses up as a bloody Cherry Bakewell. That's what they used to call me, by the way, Cherry Bakewell, because I'm sweet. And there's a little cherry in the center of me. I don't know what we're talking about. But a nice gag. They're using Matt's slaphead as a gag again, like something straight out of Shooting Stars. So I really enjoyed seeing that. He pops his head out. It's very funny. Anyway, let's get on to this fucking shite. So they're all coming in. They're all like giving their 2 cents. This is the quarterfinal. This is the big deal for these 5 bakers. You got Hermine coming in being like, I didn't think I'd be here this long. I left my eggs in the fridge. They're going to be gone off now. Dave is all like, all my family are super proud of me. All my family are super proud of me. The man who programmed me is super proud of me. That's a robot voice. No, it's not bad. Mark says, Cornish Mark, the only Mark in the competition, says, it's close enough now that I could win it. Peter says, it's nerve-wracking. I'm most unsure about this week. I'm getting better at his voice. And I don't remember what Laura said. The fact of the matter is here, now this is the quarterfinal, there's something put on it, which means that there's a level of pressure here that people can kind of see it crumbling like a little bakewell through their fingers. And this is not the place you want to be. What you want to be is where you were at the bottom last week and you're on borrowed time. Laura has been sailing through this. She keeps thinking she's going to go. And we'll get on to her in a second. But anyway, their first challenge is they have to make mini cheesecakes. Matt is devo that it's a mini cheesecake, which I totally agree. I can't get enough of cheesecake. Something about a mix of the salty and the sweet, similar with Chinese, cheesecake and Chinese. Must be something with the ch I can't get enough of. And you can seriously injure yourself eating a cheesecake if unguided. Anyway, Paul's looking lovely. His hair's lies. His hair's very nice. No parting, but it looks DTF. Prue and Paul both wearing blue on blue. I love it. Double ticks. Airbox is ticked, as Dave says. Anyway, Peter's making a lovely oaty crumble. But the fucking freak doesn't like any cheese. He's not fond of cheese. But I'm not very fond of cheese. Look, he's a nice boy. He's a nice boy. I'm going to calm down for a second. He's a nice boy. He just needs a big man like me to show him the world of cheese. I'm going to rock up at his gaff with a fucking flying carpet made cheese. And I'm going to be like, I can show you the cheese. And we're going to go through getting loads of cheese together. In my dreams. There's 5 bakers left anyway, and they're all star baker. That means that they are expecting some sublime bakes. Are Sublime a ska band, George? Yo, ska? Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, Peter is making a ginger lime key lime ginger nut biscuit base. Laura off the mark, makes a fucking whoopsie, and she drops her fucking crumb. Later on, she drops her fucking cake. She is self-jeopardizing, but also doesn't seem to give a fuck. She's like, oh, if it goes tits up, it goes tits up. Doesn't seem to care. I think she's maybe expressing a bit of regret over what happened to my essentially partner now, Lottie, and she's making a passion fruit vanilla cheesecake. But this is the thing. Laura has just been like constantly feeling like she's on borrowed time, that she's lucky to be there. And it seems to be working for her. When people think that they have it within their grasp, that's when things start to crumble like a little Bakewell. Dave is doing a celebration of citrus, lemon and orange, like the kind of acid you find in my batteries, And unfortunately, because there's so much citrus in it, Paul's like, it might not set. So he puts a fuckload of gelatin in it. And then Paul says, I'll fucking play golf later. I'll fucking play golf later. These shoes, Greg. Could you milk me, Greg? I got nipples, Greg. I'm playing fucking golf later. Maybe I can use your cheesecake. What does that mean? Like the ball? Balls are hard, Paul. They're not rubbery. I don't play golf. I just thought Paul is literally like aging in front of my eyes. Maybe Prue is all like, fucking prawn, sucking the fucking life force out of him. Maybe that's why he's getting whiter and she's getting younger. This is the new pattern. Hermine's doing mini jam job passion for a cheesecake. She's controversially leaving them in the jar, which means like they're just going to stand on their own. Which I thought, it's less to worry about. But everyone else is like, will they stand on their own? As it turns out later on, it doesn't look very good. She goes, Bam Marie helps set the cheesecake. That's it, like a bit of fucking steam or whatever. And then we see this new contestant. I am ready for this level of power because I've nothing else to talk about. Andre the Spoon. The Babu Frick of the competition. Breakout star of 2020. Andre the Spoon. Watch this space. I cannot wait to see what these two comedy geniuses do with this spoon with a face. Mark is the only baker doing citrus free. Nowhere to hide. He's doing a fucking New York cheesecake. Hey! What's it going to taste like? Piss in a bin? I'm walking to the bakery. He's doing a New York cheesecake with apricot. Now, the thing about cheesecakes, what I've discovered from this pod is if it's underbaked, it's going to crack. Maybe that's what happened to my arse. And if it's overbaked, it'll be an ecky mess. And cooling is crucial, they say. Peter, my curd is too thick. Oh no, little Bo Peep, my curd is too thick. And so he has to melt some butter in it. But he's thinking on the fly. He's not just like, a lot of these bakers are like, oh, it isn't exactly how I wanted it to be, so I'm just going to serve it shit. Peter, he's a smart boy. He's a good-looking guy. I didn't know I brought that up. Then Dave gets a compliment from Noel about his little cheesecake, and he goes, yeah, it might look fucking pretty now, but I'll go release him yet. He's having a little flashback. He's having a flash forward, rather, of when Cyberdyne systems take over the Earth, and he's one of those Terminators with the headbands. Remember that in fucking Terminator Salvation, where they go to the fucking T-800 manufacturing plant, and the T-800s are wearing clothes. Why are they wearing clothes? One of the lads is holding a gun, and he's got a little fucking headband on. Why is he wearing a headband? Like he's fucking, Boko Haram or something like that. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Laura can't get her fucking cheesecake out the mold. Hey! No, that's not New York. Whatever. Peter puts butter in, but it doesn't work. He doesn't work. But he's such a nice boy that he even lets Noel humour him, letting this new spoon objectify him. And Andre the Spoon, actually, by the way, breakout star of 2020, goes a bit too far. He starts saying to Noel, who's the only person who can understand this fucking spoon, he says, Noel, I want you to tell little hottie, Peter, little Da Vinci boy, that I want to see him naked. Noel says, Andre the Spoon wants to see you naked. Who the fuck is this guy? And what, you're going to sack Russell Brand and Jonathan Ross for objectifying whatever his name is. What's his name? Your man from Fawlty Towers. Whatever, Manuel's granddaughter. You're going to sack him, but you're going to have this spoon objectify a young boy? You need to have a fucking go. You have to have a good fucking hard look at yourself, BBC. I can't believe you're doing that. Anyway, Laura's look rotten.com. They look shite. Anyway, judges' critiques. David's celebration of citrus acid from his battery pack. Very neat and very good. Cut neatly. Custard in the middle is delicious. Jelly is thick. So all the boxes. Hermine, they look gorge, bit stodgy, not silk. The base is too soft. Not enough lime or passion fruit. It's not great. What's with all the fucking passion fruit? Who are they? Drake? Do. Do you like passion fruit? The song? I like that song. That was my favorite track of that year. New York. Hey, my fucking canapé-sized New York fucking cheesecakes are here. Hey, where's the fucking apricot? Ain't got none. What do you think? I sold them all? And I don't really get enough vanilla. The apricot should have been everywhere, says Prue. Oh my God. Peter, my lime and ginger doesn't look like a cheesecake. The mixture is a bit delicate. Dirty cheesecake, says Paul. Dirty fucking cheesecake. Get the shit out of my face. And it looks like it was dropped at a height. Dropped a lot of height. And the shape isn't perfect. Flavor's nice, just a little bit of lime. Laura's vanilla cheesecake has got an oat honey base. The compote on top is a bit of a mess. But the ratio is consistent. It's delicious. It's fantastic. It's all there. It's not overwhelming. Nothing the matter with that. I went weird there. I didn't like that accent. So Dave and fucking Laura leading up to the first challenge. I would have said coming into this, it would have been Mark coming out as the top. Peter and Mark at the top. Anyway, Prue and Paul say, Then Dave was all like, well, Prue, Paul said that's delicious, so that's my airbox ticked. What's this airbox? Is it a fucking bomb? What's going on? What have Cyberdyne planned? I can help influence. I'm an influencer, Dave. I can help influence people to go into the human camps. I can do that. You shouldn't even say camp. I just feel bad saying camp. Oh, pardon. Should have done that. Anyway. Next up, they have to make a Sussex pond pudding. This is suet pastry encased with a whole fucking lemon on the inside. What is wrong with you English people? What is wrong with you? It's a bloody pastry made of a pig intestine, and you act like fucking haggis is weird with a whole fucking lemon in it. You fucking East Irish. You fucking East Irish. You're embarrassment to the Irish. The Irish Isles. I don't know what kind of patter I'm going for here, but anyway, Peter goes full Hannibal Lecter. I love a little suet pudding. Lovely protective fat for the animal. Want to be Scar. If Hannibal Lecter. Anyway, he seems to know what he's doing. Hermine, does anyone even eat this shit in 2020? They don't even say how much milk. Why, Prue? Why you do this to me? And she has a breakdown. Dave has made suet pudding before. Laura is controversially leaving it to rest. Oh no. Some people start dusting the mold. Some start putting parchment in it. Peter's like, fatty suet, buttery filling. He's gone full Hannibal Lecter, and it's kind of attractive. They keep saying prick. It's got a load of pricks. Got to put a load of pricks in it. How many pricks do we put in this? I tell you, 5 in the fucking tent. You lot. Bring back Lottie. Anyway, Laura just says, it's not how we do it, fucking Gray's End, mate. It's not how we do it. We do a pasty, or whatever she says. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Peter starts crimping. A few start crimping. Again, silence from Noel, who is clearly let go of his comedy past. It's a shame to see. Dave says quite arrogantly, even I'm a bit confused by this part. What's a fucking pleat, he says. Even I'm confused by this part. Even though I was programmed to pleat, I don't understand what it is. And Mark apparently is a climber, so he knows all about knots. But then they see him and he's a little butterfingers and he doesn't know how to do a knot. It's actually quite funny. Then they start steaming them. No one knows for how long. And then they're like, oh, they have to make a creme anglaise. And everyone's like, how do you make a creme anglaise? And I said to Terry, practice. How do you make a creme anglaise? Practice. Any good? It wasn't a great episode. Anyway, Hermine puts a full vanilla pod in. Oh my god, she has to fucking scrape it out. They take them out, they're falling apart. It's shocking. It's just a fucking wet pond in the middle. It looked difficult to make in the first place. It looked like it shouldn't have been made. It just looks like shit. It just looks like shit. It looks like you're making a potion as a child where you're putting a lot of fucking ketchup in it. You're doing it. Oh, look, I made you dinner, ma'am. And it's a load of fucking. It's like vinegar and fucking flour and fucking ketchup. It looks shite. It looks like a child made it, and even the original doesn't look good. It doesn't look appetizing at all. Mark's does look decent. So Laura, sauce is a bit thin, needed cooking out. Dave, what are these pasties? He says. What are these fucking pasties? Ricky. Hermine needed longer, nicely shaped. Hermine. So they say it needed to be longer, but it's nicely shaped. Sounds like my winky. Have all of these jokes been? It sounds like a dick. It sounds like a cock. It sounds like a fanny or something. I feel like that. I've nothing to say. Peter collapsed on itself. It's fucking raw, but the creme is nice. Mark, understated, not cooked. The flavor's okay. Interesting. So in last you have Dave, very understeamed. Peter, very understeamed. Hermine, understeamed. I tell you, they need to crack on to. Need to get a little back massage from yours truly. Get these whatever they call pond fucking shit lemon things. Let me give them a back massage if you want them a bit steamed. I'm good at them. I've got big hands. I think you need to know this. I don't know what's wrong with me. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just forget sometimes I'm talking. There's no one else in this room. Anyway, Laura's first. Laura is flying. 2 great results. She looks like she's in line for Star Baker. This is the look of the fucking draw. This is just the look of like, I could be out. I'm on borrowed time. The writing's on the wall. I'm not going to read your number again, Jordan. But good cover up last week. Hermine, Dave, and Mark are in the middle. Ooh, and Peter, for the first time, I'm sure, is the bottom. I think he's straight, so I think that's bad. Hermine, so they have to make this jelly thing, it looks interesting. It's jelly that they have to inject with more jelly, which seems really interesting. And Hermine, and it's quite artistic. They're basically making a 3D shape, sculpting in 3D with jelly. And Hermine, jelly's an Anglo-Saxon thing, which I love. I love calling English people Anglo-Saxon. Just be like, it's so fucking what a fucking Anglo-Saxon weirdo. Don't give me that shit jelly. Laura says, I don't think you're ready for this jelly. And then Dave goes, I'm ready for that jelly. Reminds me of Garrett. Garrett from The Office being, I'll do you from behind if you want. Over here's, I'll let you do I'll do you from behind if you want. Oh, I'm ready for that jelly, yeah. Yeah. No, you were just saying there, Laura, about the jelly. I'm ready for it if it's going. Hermine. If you don't have strong nails and teeth after these... because there's a lot of jelly in it, and it looks really complicated. They have to inject jelly into jelly, which is how I used to think gay men had sex. Flaccid. I'm just so crass. It's meant to be a baking show. My partner Lottie could be watching this. Terry really doesn't. Terry actually genuinely really doesn't like this patter, so I'm gonna. Actually, she doesn't even know about this level of patter. She doesn't even like me. She's like, should I be threatened by this whole Lottie thing? She doesn't even know now that I'm like how deep into this I go on this pod. Anyway, Mark is doing a chocolate and strawberry mousse. He's doing some jelly art roses, and he hasn't done it a lot. It's a very ambitious thing for Mark, but they have 4.5 hours. He should pull it off. Hermine, she says about no. There's a vampire standing next to me. Laura's doing a lovely flower koi carp pond with and then an actual grasshopper arrives. And everyone goes mad. It's like when a dog goes into the school and everyone's like, yes! Everyone freaks. And it was real best. Grasshopper, Andre the Spoon, neck and neck for best act of Bake Off, whatever. So Dave is doing a Nuki Beach scene. Noel says, do you surf, mate? He goes, yeah, I try. And then Noel says, it looks really easy in like Point Break, but it's actually quite hard. And then Dave lights up, boots up, and he goes, Point Break, what a brilliant film. Which I thought was so... Dave has such unbelievably, like, sincere. He's probably the most sincere of all the bakers. And I was like, what a brilliant film. He's fucking dead right. It is a brilliant film. And he's like, my dad's dog's called Swayze. Like, he says facts. And they are really interesting. But we've lost our touch with interesting facts. Now we're like, oh, cool. If we were a kid, we'd be like, oh! You know? Anyway, his dad's dog's called Swayze. Hermie's chocolate raspberry. She's doing a massive poppy flower. She's, I hope it holds. She's never put it all together. But she's injected this a couple of times. She seems like she knows what she's doing. Even though she kind of moans a little bit. She always seems to know whatever she's doing. Peter's going very ambitious. Another fucking Christmas thing. He literally is like a child from like a Pear soap with the rosy cheeks ad. He's like a little Coca-Cola boy. Giving Santa a little Coke. Being like, oh, you know. That's what he's like. But weird with the Christmas thing. Matt calls everyone a fakey cake baker. Based on the Reeves and Mortimer sketch. Really funny. He's going back to his roots. He's going back. What Noel has let go of the Mighty Boosh. Matt is doubling down on what made him the star that he is right now. Anyway, they're injecting all this shit. And this is all the content. This is all I watch on TikTok. This is the oddly satisfying kind of jelly and jelly. We're jelly and jelly. And it looks really good. Dave is done really quick. And he's just waiting to see what happens. Just done. Yep. All done. The rest of the bakers are trying to take their shit out of fucking tin. It's all going all tits up. Laura drops hers on the fucking floor. She's like, help! And then she picks it up herself. Dave's just watching this eating an apple. You know, like Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11. And he looks like he's kind of getting the edit being like, oh, you could have done more. You could have done more now, Dave. But you didn't. You chose not to. But it turns out, spoiler alert, he actually did quite well. He's just sitting there. He's just done. Anyway, they look unreal. Proper showstoppers, and I'm actually very proud of this bunch. 4.5 hours, you know what I mean? Anyway, judges, Laura. So Prue goes. So Prue goes with Laura's. She goes, you fucking Prue. It reminds me of a pond. It is a fucking pond. What is this obvious week? Dessert week. It looks like a pond. It is a pond. It reminds me. I suppose it was. It's a pond. It reminds me of... Anyway. Raspberry mousse. Perfect. Every layer. Excellent. Every texture spot on. No handshake. We are getting massive handshake. Blue balls, Paul. Dave's Nuki Beach. Completely beautifully fucking prawn. Exactly her colours. Prue's colours. Fucking prawn colours. Very clever. Very neat. The jelly is fantastic. It melts in the fucking mouth. You prawn. Clotted cream mousse. Not too stodgy. The clotted cream. It's too stodgy. Were you paying attention? Do you remember that when a teacher makes a mistake? Like, I don't know, Easter Rising 1917. Sir, was it not 1916? Very good. And he goes really bright red. Like. Anyway, the cream mousse, too stodgy. The sponge, not much chocolate from it. And the mousse isn't silky. But quite an achievement. Looks like he's in the clear. Peter, very abstract. That's kind of a reindeer, kind of a tree. Not vibrant enough. Too pastely. Not easy to cut. The mousse isn't set. He's fucked it. He's ready to go. And he seems quite upset by it all. So it kind of looks like, based on everything that's happened, that the writing's on the wall for Peter. Because Mark's looks good. Peter's looks shite. It looks like someone's poured milk on an advent calendar. It looks shite. And Mark, it looks like the most impressive and then was the most ambitious. And he did okay. But somehow... the strawberry mousse had curdled. The fucking meringues were overdone. The jelly's too wobbly. The mousse is a ganache. The chocolate's too hard. The jelly's rubbery. It's shy. He blew it. He was my front runner. We were all rooting for you. And he blew it. Hermine is beautiful. Straight out of a Partisan patisserie. It looks great. Perfect. I'm a fucking gardener. Jesus. Fucking run. And that is a perfect fucking Japanese puppy, can I say. Gorgeous, fantastic, a real triumph. She smashed it. And she's over the moon. Hermine, gotta be star baker here. And now it's Peter and Mark. What are we, a fucking barbers, Peter Marks? The barbers? Because it's Peter and Mark here. Who's it going to be? And I'm thinking it has to be Peter. He just went from bad to worse to worse. And Hermine and Laura are looking good. Anyway, comes down to the result. Star baker, it's Hermine. Bula bus, the first to two. Great job, Hermine. She's a genuine natural flow with how she bakes. She doesn't seem to worry so much about time. She just seems to kind of get it. She seems to get it, and it's much more refined. She's gotten better as the show has gone on, and leaving the competition. The lad I thought was going to win, Mark, Cornish Mark. And I wanted him to win so bad, but he walks off. He's got his 2 kids there. It's a beautiful moment. He did excel and excel and excel, but at the end of the day, he's got his kids there. They all get to go home. No doubt he will be a storm. He has put Cornwall on the map. He's done a great job. Dave goes, mind blown. We're going to be in the semi-final, and it is insane that either Laura or Mark is going to be, or Laura or Dave is going to be in the final. I just didn't picture these two. In summation, not enough Andre the Spoon. And a lotty big holes left with some people leaving. But look, it's coming to the semi-final next week, and then after that, the final. Jordan Daniel, who does the visuals on this, I cannot thank you enough for doing these. Thank you very much. Cian, Conde for doing the theme song. The podcast studio is here for letting me record. And of course, you for watching, for subscribing. And I tell you what, do me a favor if you're listening to this on a podcast, right? Can you go over to Spotify? Because there's a lot of you that actually listen, but not all of you that follow. Go over there and hit follow. And what that'll mean is it'll bump me up the charts on this podcast. And if you don't, if you like this video, you can support me over on the Patreon. If you like this and you would like to see more of this and would like to reimburse me, you don't reimburse me, whatever. If you'd like to support this, you can go over to Patreon and you get an extra podcast every single week that I don't reveal anywhere else. And there's going to be some future content there, future video where I'm ranking all of the most attractive Disney animals. If you want to see a video of that Jordan, I'm sure I haven't told you yet. Yeah, I needed to do that as well for me. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you either on Friday on the Patreon, next Tuesday on my podcast, or next Thursday over here. Thank you very much.